start recording. Okay, so it's recording as of right now. So we got about, I'd say, until the baby gets distracted from Toy Story 2.
Okay.
So feel free to ask any questions you like. And,
Right.
I'm
Okay,
I'm gonna keep my camera off specifically because I don't like my baby, well, my child. I just don't want.
Yeah, that's
He's at my hip.
yeah, that's fair enough.
So
Yeah.
wife's always like, you should make a vlog series, and I'm like, no, I don't want to profit off my kid or put him on the internet. There's a lot of weirdos out there.
No,
that'll
yeah, that's
take advantage of the
understandable.
information.
Yeah, that's understandable. So most of these questions involve Gateway to Hell, just so you know.
Sure,
So,
sure. That makes
okay,
sense.
so the first question: what inspired the Gateway? Oh, crap! I probably should do introductions first. Sorry about that. Hello, I'm Harry Fleet TV. I remember it, so you don't have to. And I'm gonna try something new for YouTube, and and I will be interviewing other YouTubers. So here we have Bro7, who I've been following on YouTube for like years now. He is the creator of the Gateway to Hell saga, a Disney creepypasta, which I will link in the description of the video if you guys want to go check out the story for yourself, because this video might contain spoilers. With that being said, let's get on to the video. So how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Cool. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was actually, speaking of, I was actually listening to the Gateway to Hell series, and when I swear, I woke up one morning, and when I saw the notification for Above the Hell, I was like, no, it can't be real.
Yeah. 7 long years.
Yep. Right, so first question. What inspired the Gateway to Hell saga?
Well, everyone in the comments likes to say rip off of, what is that there? Abandoned by Disney. Actually, Abandoned by Disney was not the inspiration. If everybody remembers, that's actually a mascot. I mean, I could point that out all day, but I mean, the atmosphere, yes. The atmosphere, that was inspired. But that's almost every good story of creepypastas there. Just because there's 2 stories linked with Disney in the name does not mean they're the same. I absolutely love the image of photo negative Mickey Mouse. That scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. If anything, the sounds of the head being ripped off, I don't know if the video is still live, but there's an old creepypasta narrator that did amazing work, and he fell off the face of the planet. I have not found the story since, but the sounds of Mickey mutilating himself was inspired by the head coming off and the horrible sounds I heard in the middle of my in the middle of my 10th grade computer class when I was supposed to be working, listening to the stories. So, but the biggest inspiration, what I would say, is the Harbinger experiment. The Harbinger experiment is essentially an isolated story of. Have you heard of it, Harry?
Yeah,
It's an absolute masterpiece, and it's about nihilism, isolationist, and with gore only being a build up. A lot of stories I hear, there's just gore. Well, I don't really like building up to it. Getting to that point, the climax. That's what I like. And
am I gonna get copyrighted by the song in the background? Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. Probably not. It's from Toy Story. Worst case scenario, I'm copyrighted. Every one of my videos are copyrighted. So I mean, I don't make any money off of them.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And I even tried on monetizing them just so people can enjoy the stories. And God forbid, I actually probably won't be able to use my use songs anymore. Those have actually been starting to get copyrighted too, and they're actually. So I don't know if you've seen ads on the videos or not, but if you have, they're not from me. It's for the rights to use the songs and music.
Right.
If I had it my way, copyright wouldn't exist, and we'd just be able to make whatever the hell we want, and because that's how creativity works. But they got ads on there. I don't want ads on the videos. I just want people to enjoy them. They're just stories, man. They're not. I'm not trying to make money off of them. I make plenty of money on my own.
No.
So I just want people to enjoy this stuff. They waited 7 years. God forbid they have to listen to 7 years of ads.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not really bothered by copyright either because I just make videos for fun.
That's all it's supposed
And
to be.
yeah. Hey, if gives me copyright view for their stories, that might mean it's real. God
The
forbid.
there was a story a fan actually linked called the Green Door, I believe it's called. I don't know if you've heard of
Oh,
it. It's called the
I
Green
think
Door.
I think you meant. I think I remember you talking about it in the live stream or
Yeah,
something.
so it's basically it's a very heavily inspired story that's very similar. Like there's a door in Disney.
Yeah,
There's a demon in it. There's stairs. It's basically one for one with a couple. You almost think AI made it.
yeah,
And that one, I was like, okay, well, I could get mad about this. I think it was about 3 years ago I saw it. I can get mad about it, or I could just be happy that someone took their time to take. I mean, there's a chance it could have been entirely original, but
yeah,
but inspiration. That's all I care about.
hmm
I seen someone
yeah,
in Minecraft make an entire map based off of the gateway, and I'm like, jeez, oh Pete, I'm like, what the hell? What have I
yeah,
started? So,
yeah.
um,
So, yeah, yeah. Honestly, I think the Gateway series might have inspired my own like stories because I think, like I said yesterday, I had an idea for my own shared universe. Because there's basically an organization based on the SCP Foundation that hunt down like other creatures and monsters and
oh
that.
yeah,
It's basically the
I discovered them about two
yeah,
years ago, and I got really big into that, and
yeah,
I actually
yeah,
wanted to
and
create my own, but I just never happened.
yeah, and I basically said to myself, hey, what if that was like a mutant rat creature that they went after that was inspired by Gateway to Hell? That would be something. But
No, I
yeah,
mean, if you get around to make it, I'd love to hear it. I do
yeah,
not care if people want to make shared universes and whatnot. It's all about creativity and about
yeah,
having fun, and that's it.
yeah,
So,
indeed.
anyone that's listening to this, if you want to use any assets or anything like that, by all means, go for it. Ask the artist that makes the art first, though. Please don't. Very foolish in my young years not doing that. Always ask the artist.
Yeah. Right. Next question. Will all the stories be compiled into one story when the series is finished? Now, I know you mentioned doing that at one point in the live stream. No?
Yes, I think in the year 2050, when all the stories come out, maybe we might be able to get a compilation of all the
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
No,
By the yeah. By then I'll be like old and grey.
yeah, maybe there'll be like a box of treasures. So yeah, the compilation. So the compilation's complicated because I really hate Gateway to Hell, the first one. Not the story. I hate the audio. I hate the music. I hate it myself because as an artist, you can do better, and you look at your old
Yeah.
work like dog crap.
Oh
So
God.
every time
Yeah.
and the worst one is Return to Hell. There's actually parts in it where people have commented and complained about the audio being too high. You can't even hear what the characters are saying,
Yeah.
and that was to my own effect. That was a lack of knowledge in my editing software. I use Sony Vegas for my editing, and I did not know how
Yeah.
to address the audio distribution. I think in some of my
Right.
older stories, you might even be able to hear it. I think audio will play in one ear, but
Yeah.
not the other ear.
Mhm.
So I want to go back through and potentially just remake the first two stories, possibly the third one. Not like change anything, just literally a one for one remake. Maybe take out Suicide Mouse. Maybe take that out. That was a big mistake. I don't know what I was
Yeah.
thinking with that one. That one was kind of stupid, but yeah, everything else I'd like to just make it so people can actually listen to the story.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I've been sorry. I've been there where I've looked at my old content from back in 2015. I think we actually started around the same time. I started my first YouTube video back in March, and looking back on my old content, I'm just like, oh my god, what was that?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Is you look at the cringe and whatnot, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah. Right.
YouTube actually with YouTube, this channel was started in 2015 because my previous channel had a copyright issue, and this was back when I wanted to do it for a living. So I ended up migrating all my gaming content to its own channel, and then my stories and myself to another channel, Bro7. I think it was originally called like Brandon Rock on 7, then I just shortened it because it's way easier for looking up on Twitter and whatnot. But I've been on YouTube since I think 2008, but my original channel got obliterated to the Shadow Realm because YouTube copyright. Of course, the biggest enemy to YouTube is copyright, and it got obliterated one day, and I could not back up any of the videos. I have videos from my childhood on there that are gone forever.
Right.
when I was only like 10. It's unfortunate. I mean, kind of a blessing, you know, because they're gone, and I don't have to look at the cringiness. But you know, it's kind of sad too, because I'd like to show my kid one day, hey, this was your dad starting off small. You know, and now he drops a video and 30 people join a live stream and lose their mind.
Right. Next question. What is your favorite Disney movie?
My favorite Disney movie of all time is Meet the Robinsons.
That
very heart-inspired journey. Gets me starry-eyed every single time. Anything that has to do with the coming of age for a young man or you know, family. You know, a lot of people, they come from disgruntled families and they don't realize it until they get older and they see what it's supposed to be. And that kind of story about an orphan finding his own, and it's magical. And a father and son, that any movie that has a father and son dynamic, that's also, because you know I have a son, so it's very home to me there. But yeah, that movie, I mean, The Lion King's pretty good, the original, not the crappy remake. Those are great. And if you want to talk about Marvel, like Disney, now they got Marvel and Star Wars and all that, and you can make all these different arguments, but classical Disney, Meet the Robinsons, probably my favorite. Up's a pretty good one too. Up destroys you in the first 5 minutes, and it's like it's a kids movie.
What is the next one? What's your favorite horror movie?
Before we circle back, let's circle back to that just a second. You know the scene in Up where the old man says, I don't like you or you, I'm stuck with you.
Yeah.
So that's essentially how I feel with when I was making a couple of my stories, you know, a couple of the Return to Hell and you know, looking back at it there, because you know they got the expectations and whatnot. Now imagine the Above the Hell. Put the release dates. I don't like you or you, and it's 2 different release dates for Above the Hell. And it said I'm stuck with you, and it shows Gateway to Hell. So that's how it feels sometimes. I actually thought about making that meme and releasing it, but I didn't want to piss everyone off. But anyways, going back to the movie there. John Carpenter's The Thing is the greatest horror movie to ever exist. There will never be another horror movie, because that is right at home with a creepypasta. I don't. Have you seen The Thing? John Carpenter's The Thing.
I don't think I have. I keep getting that The Thing confused with like Marvel's The Thing and then DC's The Thing. So it's all very.
Oh, completely different. You'll see immediately. It's an absolute masterpiece. 1984, Kurt Russell, absolute masterpiece. Practical effects, light stop motion animation, no CGI crap. It scared me the first 3 times. I mean, you know what the jump scare is. It's essentially Among Us, but taken seriously. That's what it is. It's about an imposter. Go watch it. It's absolutely worth the rental or the. I own the 4K box set, but that's besides the point. It's an absolute masterpiece. The Saw movies, the first 4 are okay. After that, they get a little bit ridiculous. A couple short stories on YouTube actually are really good. Hey, buddy. Want your waffle? Thank you. What you watching, Toy Story? You want this? No? You want them? Here you go. No, but I don't remember the name of it, but there's a short story, not short story, but a short film on YouTube about these two kids that get stuck inside of a house with this evil entity that just toys with them for generations and
Right.
locks them at their age. He takes their sight away. He'll torture them, but not like gory, not like, you know, uncomfortable, like just something to, like, that's not supposed to happen. There's no gore.
Yeah.
There's no weird, like, you know, pedophile stuff in it. It's straight up just an entity toying with two innocent children and them hoping to get out of it. And it's just,
Right.
I wish I knew the name of it, Harry, because you got to watch it. You got to do a reaction to it. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's only like 30 minutes long, I think. It's absolutely amazing. Here you go, buddy.
Oh. Right, so next question, and you're probably going to laugh at this. Circling back, will it take another 7 years for the next time in the gateway?
No. So, the last 5 years of my life, I've been living with my current wife, my only wife, and we've been trying to build our lives together. I started a career in trades and whatnot. You want Wawa? Water? Here you go. I started a career in trades, so I actually work on refrigeration. So if you go to a mall or a house or a doctor's office and you feel cool or heat, I work on all that stuff.
Right.
So I've been refining my skills in that, and it pays very, very well. We had our first child about a year and a half ago. What do you want, baby? You want Wawa? You want more? Here you go. And so I've been focused on that, but I've actually been working on Above the Hell for the last, I want to say, 5 years, and it always came. Actually, when I had those release dates planned for the stories, a lot of it came down to the voice actress of Daisy falling through.
Right.
I don't know if you watched the credits. I actually voiced Daisy in the story.
Yeah.
And that was not an easy challenge. Lots of editing, lots of practice, and, you know, sounding like James, but you know, his, like, it's not easy to do. The editing was horrendous, and like I said, all the voice actors that I tried to even hire fell through, and they refused to do it. My wife didn't want to do it. She says, I'm too shy, so she didn't want to do it. Then she offered, of course, a day before I released it. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So yeah, that was interesting. I've actually had multiple cuts of the story done, some without Daisy having any speaking roles, and I just didn't like how it ended because, you know, I just didn't like how it ended. And I sat on it. I wanted to make it a 2-parter. I wanted to make it an hour long, and then I just settled with like 28-minute runtime, and I think it turned out pretty good. I wish I could have gone more into it, but I needed to do an important thing, not only setting up Daisy, but setting up Elias. That's the biggest thing, is Elias, because he's this character that everyone has been waiting to hear from for 7 years. You get introduced to this dude who just stops all these demonic beings, and then he's just never heard from again. So I wanted him to be a focal point of that. And going forward, he's going to be kind of like the Albert Wesker of the story there, you know, the real antagonist. But we'll get more into that in the next story. But no, I think the next story is going to be Buried in Hell. It's going to come out. If I had to give it a rough estimate, I'd say within a year or two. I would if I had to put a cap on it. I plan on that one being very long, probably 40, 45 minutes if I can. That's going to follow the events leading after, above, and inside. That's going to kind of tie the two together. But the other story, it's called Building the Hell, and that's going to be central to the lore building and, you know, basically answering a lot of questions. And that one, I actually had a voice actor who did Elias before, called Stevenizer Brasanka. He's another YouTuber like yourself, and I've been in talks with him since 2016 over this.
Oh.
And it just never worked out. He was in college, scheduling conflicts. Yeah, he was a nice kid, and hopefully he's doing well. I don't know if you'll ever see this or the stories, but I wish we could have worked together. We could have had Building the Hell out before Inside the Hell.
Yeah.
We really could have. It actually would have been a hell of a lot faster, but I just hate relying on people. If you rely on people, it just takes longer. I said, screw it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
You want Wawa?
Having that.
Here you go. Go ahead.
Huh?
You're good.
I was gonna say, I swear, I remember when I listened to the first Gateway years ago. So basically, I used to go to a boarding school, and every evening, I would like go on the computer as like a reward for being good, and I would listen to these stories. I would do my writing, and I remember listening to the first Gateway stories right before bed, and I can't remember if I had any nightmares, but I'd be surprised if I didn't, because Jesus Christ, that story had me shaking by the end. I think the only reason why I wasn't like fully traumatized is because I wasn't fully concentrating. I was doing some writing in the background.
Yeah, some of these stories will do it to you.
Yeah.
A couple of the modern stuff, the modern stuff, especially the what's that called? Analog horror. I really like the analog horror. I feel like people have been kind of screwing it up lately, though. You know, with like the back rooms. Now they're just making a joke out of it. The internet kind of ruined the back rooms, and because that was an amazing story. I was following that the day it was posted. I was following that one. What's that other one about the imposter people? What is that one called? You know, the Mandela. The Mandela catalog. That one's amazing as well. There's so many good. There's a couple messed up ones though. Like there's this one this guy made of like art. Cannot remember the name of it, but there's two artist killers and they do some horrible stuff to children, and it's like,
right.
Why are you writing about, you know, it's like there's a point where you need to stop, you know? And when that story, I mean, it's gruesome. It's very graphic, you know? Give it a chance if you ever get a time. But the dude sells t-shirts of the gory child scenes.
Right.
He sells coffee mugs. That's too far, you know? That's why I think I had such a hard time writing Daisy, because am I about to write a little child getting murdered by a demon Goofy? Or am I, you know, I don't know. I look at my kid. I think that's why it ended the way it is. So in your mind, maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. We'll find out in about 1 to 2 years.
Yeah. Honestly, I remember when I first, when I listened to that story, and the most recent one, and I heard the name Goofy, I'm just like, oh, what's that gonna look like? Because I remember I'm very nervous around dogs. Like, they don't scare me per se, but I'm a bit more wary around them than most people. So I thought, what is this big looming demon zombie dog gonna look like? I mean, that's gonna be more terrifying than Smile Dog. Well, Smile Dog's a dog with human teeth.
Yeah, that was actually a really easy edit there, the Smile Dog. But that did creep me out for the longest time, seeing that in thumbnails. Kind of takes you off guard.
Yeah.
If you look at the design of Demon Goofy, in the video there, especially the Q&A, I had a whole bunch of different art from a very talented artist. Let me pull up his name real quick here. Pixel Inc. His name is Pixel Inc. He's a very talented artist. And he did, the way he designed Goofy was absolutely jaw-dropping. There's the picture of him holding the microphone, and then there's the one of his face starting to come apart, and you can see that his shirt gets torn, and there's limbs coming out of his back. You got to see it. In the next story, I hope to have it in full motion, but we will see Demon Goofy again. He will return, and he's going to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to put my other headphones on, because the one I was wearing are uncharged. So let me just... Hang on.
Hi, buddy.
Let me just.
You put the headphones on?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Hang on a minute.
Can I see the headphones? Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. So,
There you go.
yeah,
Okay,
the
bye.
guy voicing Goofy did a really good job. Like, he legit sounded like Goofy.
Yes, that's
Uh,
Nice. He's actually a very successful channel. If you ever get time, look him up. He does a lot of gaming and Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog was his claim to fame, but he's been in projects doing voice acting for a while. He's actually a really cool guy. God bless you. God bless you, baby. He started off as a fan of mine many years ago, and he's become very successful. Hey, I need this, Dad. I need the headphones. Here. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. Here, you want the controller? Sorry, you can go on. I'm just talking.
yeah, so, yeah. The funny thing is, years ago, I started drawing like a Gateway to Hell comic called Life Within the Gateway, and it was supposed to tie into the. It was supposed to be like a little parody that was set before the first story, and it did feature Goofy as well. But that was before I knew what Goofy looked like in that series. So,
Right.
yeah,
Do you have a
yeah.
picture of it or anything like that?
I think I do somewhere. I'll send it to you after the chat. But the next question is: will Gateway to Hell have a happy or sad ending, or will it be bittersweet?
Well, I'd love to see it by all means.
No, no. I'm reading the next question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the next question is: will Gateway to Hell have a happy or sad ending?
It depends. It all depends. I've
Yeah.
tempted the idea of making two different endings.
Mm.
Just because
Yeah.
some people, like I said, nihilistic tendencies. They like the idea of an unhappy ending, and because it's more realistic. I mean,
Yeah.
you got. I mean, look at Avengers: Infinity. I don't know if you watched the Marvel movies, the
Yeah.
Infinity War and whatnot.
Yeah.
I absolutely I love the ending of Infinity War, and I feel like
Mm.
Endgame kind of killed it a little bit in a way because if they ended the series right there, it's perfect. The bad guy who wasn't a bad guy, he was only a bad guy in his own description, won, but he didn't win. He also lost to get the win. I don't know. It's complicated, but
Yeah.
I think some
Yeah.
people would like a happy ending because nobody wants to see Frederick die, obviously,
Mm.
or
Yeah, especially
lose.
after waiting several years.
But
Oh,
you could say he already has lost with James, but he still
yeah.
has his family, and we'll flush that out more when we get into the next story.
Yeah,
Um,
that is true. I think for me, it depends on what the story is. It depends on what makes sense and what doesn't.
right.
It depends on what makes sense and what. Because I've got my own theories writing, and I wondered on whether or not to do a happy ending or a sad ending. But I combined the two endings to make it more bittersweet. But yeah. So the next question is Elliot Walt Disney? Now I think we've all suspected for years that he is Walt Disney, and I know it hasn't outright been revealed, but I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Oh, geez, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. It says on the meeting we only got about 9 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Oh, okay. I'll speak.
I can't believe it actually says that. Hey, baby.
Yeah,
Go play.
I'll speak through next time. So is Elliot Walt Disney?
Okay.
I think it's pretty.
You're good. Rapid fire. Let's go.
Okay, so is Elliot Walt Disney?
Is he Walt Disney?
Yeah, because I think we've all suspected it for years, and even though it's outright been revealed, I think he pretty much is Walt Disney. If you think about it.
Well, the only thing I have to say about that is Walt Disney is Walt Disney, and Elias is Elias.
Fair enough. Next question. Next question. How many parts of the Gateway saga will there be? If it, yeah.
So I've commented this originally, but it's hard to keep track because YouTube really sucks at distributing information.
Yeah.
So there's Gateway, there's Return, there is
No.
Inside, there's Beyond, there's Above. So that's the 5 that are out right now. There's Building.
I mean, like, sorry, I was gonna say how many will there be when the series is like
Oh yeah,
completed?
oh yeah. I'm just counting them. So there's the 5 that's out now. There's Building. There's Buried that's going to be coming out. So that's 7 in total. And then I believe there might be 1 or 2 more after that. If we do not do a 2-part special for the ending. But I would suspect possibly 8
Right.
in total. I would only push
Fair
it
enough.
to 10. I would only push it to 10 because people have been requesting certain characters to make appearances. And I think there's a lot of room to see Frederick take on a lot of different Disney characters there, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because, so you know that Freddy looking Winnie the Pooh horror film that came
Oh, yeah.
out?
Oh, yeah.
That and the sequel kind of predated, well, not predated, I think Gateway to Hell kind of predated that universe. 'Cause, you know, it's a bunch of twisted childhood characters killing everyone. And in the sequel to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, there is like a weird twist that's kind of similar to Gateway to Hell. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the whole thing with Christopher Robin's brother and like animal human DNA being combined in that.
No, I have not seen the second one yet. I plan on watching it eventually here. I think some of the character designs are really cool. I like how they make Pooh out to be like a Michael Myers, is an unstoppable machine.
Yeah.
I will watch it eventually though, and I'll circle back to that eventually when I get to there, and I can let you know what I think. Hey, it's all right. Almost done. It's okay. Hey, you want this?
All right. Now, would you ever do official art of the character? That's the next question.
A physical art of the character? You mean like a cosplay?
Yeah, like
or do you mean...
official art. Would you make official art of the character and like what you picture them looking like?
Yeah, so I've
Official.
actually, so if Pixel Ink doesn't get back to me on that, I plan on actually reaching out to professional artists and then having it, drawn out entirely. That's why I have not pulled the trigger yet on the remakes of Gateway and Return, simply because I would like to have it more fleshed out and whatnot. I like to have full-on models and potentially, have it, because there was a fan, I don't remember her name, but she actually made a comic of Frederick and a character we have not met yet called Chipper, and it's pretty amazing. If you watch the trailer to above the Hell, there's actually this chipmunk character sitting down in a chair, and we'll get to him eventually. He's actually an original character, so we'll get to him eventually. But she made some pretty cool art of that. But we'll get to him possibly in the next story, the one after that. But he's gonna kind of be this cool entity. We'll get more into him. I don't want to spoil anything.
Wait. Okay, so he's an original character, it's not like Chipper and Gale or whatever.
No, I mean he's a chipmunk, but I mean that's about as close as it gets. He's gonna be an original character for the story, and it's gonna be actually kind of crazy what happens with him.
Cool. Cool. Next question: Oh no, I read that one. Is James alive? Because obviously, when he was killed in Inside the Hell, he said that once he dies a demon, he possibly could come back and be born into another life, and we hear him as the narrator of Above the Hell, don't we? No.
Yeah.
Oh, he's alive.
Well, see, that's a tricky one. It depends on what you call alive or dead, and it depends on what Elias has at his disposal. There may be a chance he could come back down the line. And there's also a chance that he might not. It all depends on. It all depends. Oh, God bless you, baby. It all depends on what happens. We will see it. Trust me. When we get to the next story, You're gonna have a lot
Okay.
of you're gonna have a lot more lore to work with. Hey, it's
Right.
okay.
Okay. One more question. Will we see other female characters and other characters in general in the Gateway saga? Well, basically, will we see any characters like the female counterparts to Mickey and Donald, etc.? And also, what about characters like Peter Pan, Captain Hook, and Aladdin in that?
So so as far as the female characters, the biggest one I wanted to go through was Alice. Um,
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland was one of the original Disney stories, and to my disbelief, it's actually one of the trippiest. It's like you're on drugs when you're watching it. So
Yeah.
I actually wanted to go into that with Alice. I think that'll be a tale that's better suited for maybe Daisy. But
Um,
we will get into that one. I'm very excited to do Alice. I want to do it right. I don't want to make it just a quick cameo or anything like that, like Pinocchio was. I want it to be an absolute blast. So I think Alice is going to be the big female bad, and we'll see a lot more from her eventually. I promise you this. That's going to be the one I'm going to work on really hard to get right.
oh,
Alice is going to have a cool design, going to have a story, and I really don't want to screw her up. I kind of want to
fair
make it
enough.
as iconic as Donald, but last
Yeah.
longer and build it up to it. She's not going to be this giant demon duck, but she's going to be
Mm,
this sadistic
yeah.
psychopath, in a way. But we will get into that,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's the big one. I figure
Oh,
as far as like Minnie Mouse and Daisy Duck and all that stuff, I think that's just they pretty much be the same as Mickey and Donald,
yeah,
just with a
true.
bow. So I could I
True.
could I could always change that there, but it all depends. Hold on, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what I got as far as that. Alice is gonna be the big one. It's okay, buddy.
Okay. Right, that's it for the interview. So thank you, Bro7, for doing this. I've been Harry Flew TV. For those of you who heard, for those of you who gave the interview and not, clicked off in case of spoilers, thank you. And go check out Gateway to Help Yourself. The link will be in the description. Yeah, the whole stories are on the Bro7 channel. I will link Bro7 channel in the description as well. And with that being said, thank you, Bro7.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
And I will see you all next time on Harry Flew TV. I remember it. No, you don't have to.
Creep on, everyone.
Goodbye.